Okay, so I'm kind of sort of really sick today, so if my voice just sounds like absolute garbage, that's why. But Bandai kind of forced me to make this video today by revealing something that's really too big for me to postpone, so here we go. So Bandai's been releasing a lot of really weird kits lately, and I realize now that I haven't done an episode of Gunpla News since like December, so most of this stuff, those of you who literally follow this channel exclusively for news probably haven't heard about. So I'm just going to quickly go over some of these choice kits. Reborn 100 Vignagina 2, HGAC Maganak, SDCS Sisquid, High Resolution Model Astray Noir. So, you know, some weird kits, right? These are all really weird, off-the-wall choices, and what's weirder still about these is they're all retail. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bandai, but they're making some pretty loopy choices. Not that I mind really, most of those things I just mentioned actually look pretty cool, especially that Vignagina, that's probably like one of my most hyped kits right now. And the Sisquid too. In fact, I might actually talk even more about Advance of Zeta at the end of this video because there's a lot coming out for that. Actually, yeah, I think I will, so stick around for that. And then for the P Bandai releases, we got some kind of weird stuff too, like the Master Grade Reed Z Custom, which still uses the really old Master Grade Reed Z mold with some minor improvements. The Master Grade Dwage, which is basically the same thing but with the Dom. Minor improvements, new kit, new suit. And then they're even doing the Shenlong with that weird sword thing it had in Glory of Losers. If I was in any condition to do so, I would go into a lot more detail about these kits, but all you really have to know about them is that Bandai's just doing some weird stuff. But I don't think anything they've done so far is quite as weird as what we'll be talking about today, because this is a Master Grade Gundam F90, completely brand new kit, new mold, new everything, that's P Bandai. So right off the bat, that kind of sucks for basically everyone that doesn't live in Japan. But what I'd really like to do today is talk a little bit about the kit itself, because it's a little interesting, and I mean that in both a good way and a bad way. Because right off the bat, I would say this is very impressive for a premium Bandai original. The quality does look pretty high, the color separation's all there. You know, the articulation's great and all that. He's even got this kind of cool curved beam saber effect. But every picture of this kit I see, I can't shake the feeling that I'm not looking at a Master Grade. Especially when I'm looking at the inner frame here. Like, I guess this is kind of Master Grade-esque in the torso, but the vibe I get when I'm looking at this kit is that I'm just looking at a Reborn 100 that they slapped the MG logo on. And I don't know, maybe that's literally what they did. I've always thought the F91 would make a really good Re 100, but a lot of Gundam fans tend to kind of complain a lot when something gets a Re 100 that they think should have gotten a Master Grade. So I kind of have to wonder if Bandai just slapped a Master Grade logo on this just to make everyone happy. But speculating about stuff like that's kind of pointless. Okay, so I had to just stop the recording so I could blow my nose without giving you some top quality ASMR. And I kind of forgot where I was when I was talking, so I'm just gonna kind of talk about the F90 for a little while and hope I didn't miss anything. So I'm noticing right now as I'm looking at the release info that this kit's actually pretty cheap. It's only 4,300 yen on the web shop, and obviously you're not going to get it for anything close to that. But what that means ultimately is that if you're getting this through like a middleman or something, you can only be paying around like $75 to $80 for it, which is a lot of money and probably more than it should be. But as far as P Bandai Master Grades go, that's not terrible. Most of them tend to sit pretty comfortably around the $90 mark, and it's really not that uncommon to see them cross 100. Granted, this is a very basic Master Grade, and actually that price kind of factors into my theory that this is a much simpler kit than you would normally expect from an MG. Now, a question you guys might be wondering is, will I be getting this? And the answer is, I don't know, probably not. However, I do kind of like what they seem to be doing with this kit, and that is expansion packs. So if you're not familiar with the Gundam F90, basically, it's like the Strike Gundam on steroids. So it's basically got a different equipment pack for every conceivable situation, and it can swap them out pretty easily. So the first mission pack, we're going to actually be getting alongside the F90, and this is the E-Type and S-Type pack, which means nothing to me and probably means nothing to you. So let's just go ahead and look at the pictures. So this set's going to be released for around 20 bucks, which means it's probably going to be like 40-ish, maybe 35 if you're getting it through a middleman. And the first one of these packs here, I don't know which one this is. What is this, Type E? No, okay, so this is Type S. Type S just gives them a bunch of guns. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm getting some light, what is that, like the RX-44 gun tank, that transforming one they had from F91. Kind of reminds me of that. And the Type S pack is like kind of an UAX system sort of thing. So it's got the big ray dome on the back. It's got some fins that kind of remind me of the ones on the F91's shoulders, but I think they are probably serving a very different purpose, since I'm pretty sure that this F90 equipment variant doesn't have that, what is that, silhouette system it's called? That thing that the F91 does that makes it go fast. I don't think the F90 has that. Or it probably does, but it's not in this formation. So I think those are just some kind of antenna things. He's got like a big handheld missile pod, he's got the radome, he's got some fins. It's a nice little upgrade set, and for 20 bucks, or 30 or 40, once you get your hands on it, I don't think it's too bad a selection of weapons. In fact, I think it's actually pretty cool. Ooh, I'm actually just noticing that it looks like there's some kind of supports on the back of the I'm just going to call it the gun pack. I can't be bothered to remember the letters for these things. It looks like he has some kind of anchoring hydraulics that you can like plant down on the ground to keep him from getting flung back when he fires his cannons. That's actually pretty cool. So another kind of rabbit hole Bandai seems to be really diving deep into this year is Advance of Zeta. So, you know, we got in the Wound Warp before, but now they're kind of expanding on some more with a high-grade Horairu, both colors. They're doing re-releases of the Hazel variants, SP Bandai kits with some extra like add-on adapter parts to make some of those Kitbashi combination looking things from Advance of Zeta, because pretty much everything from Advance of Zeta is just the same 5 suits with their parts shuffled around. And then they released this thing called the Hazel 2 that's not actually a Hazel, it's just a Wound Wart with some extra stuff on it, but it's called Hazel because reasons. And then to accompany them there is literally one, or I guess technically 2 retail kits, because you know those are all P Bandai, but the only retail Advance of Zeta kits it looks like we're getting this year are the aforementioned SD Cross Silhouette Siskoids, which to be fair do look really, really cool. So they're doing the AU colors, they're doing the Titans colors. I love them both, probably going to pick them both up. They're coming out later this month. At some point recently, they actually showed off like even more prototypes. So this is the Hyzenthle 2, I'm just going to call it. I don't know how it's pronounced, it's just a bunch of letters. I think it's a rabbit name from a book. And he's a pretty cool looking guy. This thing is a brand new model as far as I can tell, and because it's Advance of Zeta, it's P Bandai. And also because they said so. They also showed off this other thing called the Primrose, which kind of just looks like a Horairu, but wait, Horairu? No, not Horairu. What's that thing called? The little jet plane thing. Harududu. So the Primrose basically just looks like a Harududu on steroids. And then they show this big super combination at the end with all the premium Bandai Advance of Zeta variant stuff all kind of slapped together onto a Hazel. So, you know, if you want to drop $200 or $300 to make this, I guess you can. I actually feel seriously bad for anyone who's an Advance of Zeta fan, because you're going to have to spend so much money trying to get all these kits, especially if you want to go for all the variants. So thanks for watching the worst episode of Gunpla News. I'm going to just, I guess, lie down for a while or something. If you enjoyed this video, I don't know why you did, but please subscribe. Usually I'm not this sick, I promise. And yeah, I'm Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.